You're good. You're on.
All right, guys, welcome back for another deep dive today, and welcome back for the second time to our Facebook audience. Last week, if you missed us, we talked about probiotics, prebiotics, all the misnomers, kind of unveiled all the misconceptions that they have in the market about probiotics, talked in depth about why they are vitally necessary for your health. And we had thousands and thousands of people view that on Facebook. So if you missed that, it's still on our page. Go back and find that Facebook Live from last Monday, and you'll learn everything you need to know about how to select the right probiotic for you, what role prebiotic fibers need to be taking in your diet, and exactly how to get what you need to accomplish their health goals with those prebiotics and probiotics. And today we're going to talk about something that is a huge subject, and a subject that is becoming more and more vitally important to our society and the people that we want to serve, and it is how to effectively do weight loss, and more specifically why weight loss programs in general don't work. And as I said, this is a huge issue. We all see the news. We have all the charts from the CDC here at the office that we look at all the time. If you guys at Facebook don't have this, go to CDC and look at overweight and obesity rates. They publish the charts there. If you want to be frightened and lose a little sleep, go take a look at those. They're scary. And in a nutshell, what it says is that going on 2/3 of us are having issues in our health due to our weight. And obesity is rising like crazy. And if you actually kind of overlay those obesity and overweight charts on the charts for diabetes, for depression, for heart disease, for cancer, for nearly anything else, the increase in weight problems that we're experiencing in our country are dragging all of these other lifestyle diseases with them, which are they're taking our loved ones from us too soon. They're decreasing the quality of life of either the people that we directly work with or the people that are important to them and their families. And so it's important that we kind of get in and uncover and talk about the real issues behind weight loss, why things aren't working, and give them tools that will absolutely make the difference so that we get a return to health for all of us collectively as a country. It's pretty necessary. But why don't basic weight loss programs work? We'll dig in and talk about that. I want to show you guys a really interesting stat first, though, and it's this one. If you want any more evidence that weight loss programs in general don't work, it's this. A study was done, and they found that in the United States, the average woman in the United States, like this isn't extreme, this is average, goes on 8 diet or weight loss programs a year. So more often than every other month, a woman is starting a weight loss program and a diet specifically focused at losing weight. And it's because they're not actually getting the help and the support that they need from the ones that they're starting. There are so many different ideas out there about how people go through and want to do things, but most of them flat don't actually address the real issue that is keeping these people from sustainably losing weight. So from getting that result and then being able to keep that result at a healthy weight in their life. And it's because we're dealing with all these different misconceptions on weight loss programs, right? There's misconceptions just at the top where people are like, hey, if you're not losing weight, if you're somebody that's overweight and should be losing weight and you're not losing weight, it's because you're lazy. It's because you don't have willpower. It's because you won't stick to the program. There's misconceptions like the way oversimplified, move more, eat less, right? People that have a little extra weight but an otherwise pretty healthy metabolism, people who have lived in a pretty healthy way, people who have the right genetic makeup, are able to apply this and find success, and then they look at everybody else and they're like, hey man, all it is like move more, eat less. It's like the 4-word diet program, right? Just get out and do your walking and eat a little bit less and you'll be in way better shape. Massively oversimplified and just flat, non-functional. The results won't be there for most people. It is way more complicated than calories in, calories out. That is an old idea. And it's an idea that ignores a ton about basic human physiology. It's an idea that ignores a ton about the science that we know about food and calories, that it's a bigger picture than that, and it ignores a ton about what happens really with people's metabolism, specifically who have suffered long term from issues with their weight. And then the whole like completely ignorant, like, man, why don't you just eat a salad? You know, like if you could just replace, just start like putting some vegetables in your diet, that'll fix it. Obviously oversimplified, obviously doesn't work, and it does not address this one issue we're going to talk about, which is the vital factor that it is ignored by almost every weight loss program. And the vital factor that most pay absolutely no attention to, I'm not just going to write this in, but is the determinant on if we're able to get somebody to a healthy, sustainable weight loss, not like a quick dump that they rebound from. It's something that will literally improve their health and get them to a better place. And that one vital factor is toxins and toxicity. And toxins play such a massive role in our health. You guys know we talk about them all the time. I mean, we're like the detox people, so we talk about toxins all the time, but we don't talk that much about the specific role of toxins in weight loss and how they can keep people from losing weight, how they're causing people to go back to the same, well, looking for some type of calorie restriction weight loss over and over and over again without addressing this base issue that actually makes the difference between if they get the results that they need to return to health and if they're able to keep it on. And the reason that toxins are such a huge issue is that we all know our body does everything it can to kind of fight a toxic state, right? We put toxins in, and toxins are anything in our environment that are at least non-helpful but potentially harmful to our health. Your body treats these as toxic invaders, and they come from everywhere, right? They're coming from the air we're breathing, which is full of garbage. They're coming from the water we're drinking, the food we're eating, especially if we're eating a lot of processed foods or drinking sodas or things like that, full of different toxic stuff. The clothes we're wearing are created and dyed with toxins. We wash them with toxic detergents. Our homes are putting off toxins from the carpeting and the paint and all the furniture that we bring in. Our cars are full of toxins. They're just everywhere in the environment. It basically is a fact of modern day life. And when these toxins get into your body has to do something with them. And this is where the two types of toxins is really, really important and makes a lot of difference. And the way that we break up these two types of toxins is by their solubility. So there are water-soluble toxins, meaning toxins that will just dissolve in water. They're very, very easily cleansed by your body. The water is the cleansing medium of our body, right? So if you bring in a water-soluble toxin, it's easily handled by the liver, by the kidneys, excreted in urine, breathed off as vapor. It's kind of no problem. But any fat-soluble toxins cause a big issue because those ones don't dissolve in water. They dissolve in lipids, oils, fat. And when they get into your body, they can't be dealt with in the normal fashion of just being dissolved into water and excreted from your body. They have to be handled in a different way. And knowing that they can't just be left in place without negatively affecting the health of your body does the best it can to put those away. And so one of the big things it does is these lipid-soluble toxins. And by the way, anything that is a petrochemical, so that's made from petroleum gasoline, is absolutely a lipid-soluble toxin. And there's like 70,000 different chemicals made from petroleum that are around us all the time and in almost everything we use. Any of those that get into your body have to be handled as one of these lipid-soluble toxins. So your body can't just let them circulate and end up wherever they end up. And so oftentimes it'll push these into fat storage. So that brings up a few things. For one, it brings up the fact that your body has to hold some fat storage to dump all these toxins into. The other thing that happens is that we end up with very resistant fat. That fat now isn't just energy storage and fat storage, it's actually shielding and protecting your body from the effect of all these toxins. And then kind of the last thing to think about this is when we do get through a weight loss program for someone that is actually burning out and taking away a lot of this fat storage, we're always releasing these toxins system, and they have to be dealt with. So they cause resistant fat loss, but then also once we get over that edge, we have to deal with getting the toxins out of the body so they don't just end up dissolved somewhere else. The issue's compounded when people are kind of worried about like the waist size by the fact that when we have these these fat cells that are now toxic, that have absorbed all this toxic material, your body doesn't want that getting out, right? So it does like your body's version of Fort Knox for toxins, which is we're going to put them into a fat cell, and then we're going to surround that fat cell with a layer of wastewater. And so this little fat cell is now this big because it's a fat cell plus stagnant wastewater. Unhealthy condition for one, but for two, fat storage plus wastewater retention just exacerbates the problem of your clothes not fitting, of being really unhappy with how you're looking and how your body's functioning. It's adding more mass because all this wastewater retention is required to help hold those toxins where they are. Toxins massively disrupt our hormonal system, right? I mean, you guys all know hormones govern every function in your body. If your hormonal health sucks, your health overall will suck. It is that trickle-down effect, right? Anything that our body does is actually triggered, modulated, turned on, turned off by hormones. And high toxic load absolutely and always disrupts your hormonal health. And one of the first major areas of hormonal health that is goofed up by high toxicity are those related to metabolism and fat storage. They're those related to your corticoid hormones that are your stress hormones, right? If we turn the toxic stress way up on your body, stress goes up, those cortisols, corticoid hormones come up, and one of the things that they do is they force more fat storage, especially abdominal fat storage, a place we really don't want it, either for looks or for health, because it's right there surrounding all of our vital organs. That's the most dangerous fat on our body. But when our toxic stress is high, we create more of the hormone that causes more of that stress fat storage. So we need to get the toxins out to stop them from disrupting the hormones. And the net effect of all of this is that we actually have a depressed metabolism. And something crazy happens, that increased toxic load causes us to store more fat and makes us more resistant to letting it go. It causes a stress hormone, which causes us to store more fat. And then the very fact that we're storing fat creates a hormonal condition that makes us prone to store more fat. So you guys can see this just starts to spin up, right? And so you look at somebody and go, hey, dude, you just don't have willpower, right? You're lazy. It's like, no. What's happened is this tragic condition of toxicity affecting the health of their body that has one after the other piled on with conditions that make it nearly impossible for their body to release this unhealthy weight due to the toxic load that's there. And until we get in and we rectify this toxicity, we are never going to be able to actually really healthfully, sustainably get them to where they need to be. So the big important thing that we need to get out there for people, if people are dealing with this, they're dealing with this totally resistant weight loss, is they need to know it's not your fault, because that's what they're told, right? They're told, listen, if you're at an unhealthy weight, if you've had a chance at weight loss programs and you've failed, it's your fault because you're lazy. It's your fault because you have no willpower. And you imagine the effort these people have put in, and that's what they're being fed back. It is such a self-defeating situation because it is not their fault. It's the fault of the fact that they've never been taught a program that will actually work, because they've never been taught a program that addresses this toxicity that is necessary to take care of, both to trigger weight loss and to make sure that we're not just pumping all these toxins back into the body when they when they do lose weight. So absolutely, focusing on things the way that we teach people to focus on them with the Melise program, where they're not just making sure they're getting the highest quality calories, right? They're not just making sure that they're not eating garbage, crappy, processed, empty calories in their diet. They're not just focusing on making sure that they're getting 100% of the right types of nutrition to fuel the healthy function of their body. We also have added this vital missing component of detoxification in place. so that both at the start and at regular intervals throughout their weight loss journey, we're making sure we're coming in and we're detoxifying so that their body will be able to actually release that weight, right? We're coming in again and we're detoxifying to make sure that as that fat's burning, any of those toxins that are being spun out, we're removing 100% from the body, giving the body the tools it needs to get rid of those. And through this entire process, we're finally giving people the real program that they need to actually effectively lose weight and sustainably keep it off, and improving their health tremendously in the process by removing all of this toxic load and restoring them to metabolic health. And that's the key. That's why it's such a big deal to take these toxins out, is that if we just get in and we somehow starve weight off of somebody, starve off their lean mass, starve off some fat mass, but we haven't gone in and fixed the toxicity issue that has goofed up all their hormonal health, all of it is coming back because we haven't helped them actually improve their metabolic and their hormonal health. We've just given them sort of a temporary band-aid, forced a lot of this weight off, but it's all coming back. And we don't want that because it's terrible for their health, and we don't want that because that has to be the most disappointing thing in the world. To overcome all of these things stacked against you, all the toxicity, all of the metabolic shifts, everything that is making weight loss hard, and to put in so much work, effort, and dedication to move past that. But nobody told you need to take care of this base issue of toxicity, so it all comes back. That has to be crushing, and I don't ever want to see anybody go through that. So please, let's go out, let's educate, let's let people know how taking care of that vital issue of toxicity is an absolute mandatory piece of a weight loss journey, and it's the missing piece that will get people different results than they've ever had before in their life. They'll be able to reach all their weight loss goals, they'll be able to maintain and sustain that weight loss and move on at a healthier point from there on out. So that's today's deep dive, all right? We are so happy to have a chance to have you guys here on Facebook with us. We welcome any comments. If you guys have questions, show them the team real quick. We have this amazing team of sales educators that are here. They are here ready for you right now, today, and every day to answer any questions that you might have. They're all super well schooled. We sit and we do this every week. Even when we do it without you guys, we get to talk about all these deep dive issues, and they have all the information that's necessary if you would like a little bit of help and input, either with your own personal health or with those people that you're serving with your business. We would love a chance to be able to chat and get you the information you need so you can get great outcomes. And the last ask I have for you is we have committed for the next short period of time to do these live every single Monday at 10:30. We would love to have you back. It's 10:30 Mountain, by the way. We'd love to have you back and have you on some more of these. If you have topics you would like us to cover, I've got a bunch that I'd like to talk about, but I want to talk about what's important to you guys as well. So if you have topics you'd like us to cover, please go ahead and add those in the comments here, or pass them along to any of our sales education staff here, and they will get them to me, and we will talk about the issues that are important to you. So thank you.